Hello, friend. Welcome to the Awakened Entrepreneur Show. This is Juan Galan, your host. And today we're going to be talking about something that you probably experienced throughout your journey. And I talked about this a little bit on the first episode, but it's basically what happens when success no longer feels like success. When your vision of success is completely distorted by someone else's reality. And I'm saying this because as most of you, I'm sure, use social media as one of your main marketing channels. And while social media has been a blessing for people like me and you to create content for free and reach thousands, if not millions of people, it can also play games with our minds if we are not spiritually grounded, if we don't have a strong mind. And that was what happened to me when I started experiencing success. What I had originally envisioned as success stopped feeling like success. And it happens not only at the beginner level, but also when you're in like intermediate, or for the top entrepreneurs and professionals up there, I'm sure they've also experienced this. Their success is distorted or blocked by someone else's success. And if you've experienced this or you are experiencing this, no worries. I'm going to be sharing with you how I've been able to bring myself down again, ground myself, and how finding God and letting Him lead my life and business redefined everything for me. So I want to start by sharing what success used to mean for me. And I talked about this in the previous episode, but it's something that's been a lot on my mind lately, most specifically because right now I am embodying the full vision that I had 6 years ago when I first started freelancing, which was basically freedom. I just wanted to have a couple of clients, be able to travel the world with my laptop and work from anywhere. I was not looking for money. I was not looking for social media growth, for followers. I was not looking for recognition. I wanted just that freedom, travel, see cultures, try new food, build memories, experience life to the fullest. But somewhere along the way, this vision of success got completely distorted. And it was mostly because of social media, mostly because of Instagram. But okay, we cannot blame external factors for our internal state. It was my fault for not working properly on myself, self-awareness, on my personal growth, on my spirituality. It was my fault, and I paid the hard price. So I'll take you back to 2021. That was when I first launched the IG Creator Academy. That was in September 2021. Within 2 months, I had already 40,000 followers. And I was getting so many likes, so many followers, so many views, viral reels. That started to become addictive. That was the first moment when what I had in my mind of success started to change, because I no longer focused, or I still wanted to travel, but that was not the only goal anymore. Now I had a new goal or a new aim, which was to keep that momentum, keep the follower growth, keep the virility. And with that started coming sales, lots of opportunities, lots of clients. I launched my first digital product and I made a lot of money in just 1 week. And again, that dopamine hit, that rush became addictive to the point that for some time, and this is something very raw and vulnerable that I'm going to share with you, but for some time, I actually didn't even care if my clients were succeeding. I just wanted to get more clients, more sales, more money, more success, more recognition. And that dream of traveling the world with my laptop, where money was never the main goal, started to disappear. But I'm not ashamed to admit it, because I know that I'm not the only one. And I know that it's not easy when you go on social media and you start seeing everyone else's milestones. When you start seeing this girl sharing her income and making millions of dollars in one launch, or this person growing hundreds of thousands of followers in 1 week, and you not being able to achieve that makes you feel stuck, makes you feel less than. For me, it even got to a point where one of my first clients who I dearly love, and I'm actually one of her students now, so it's really funny how life works. But she was one of my first coaching clients, and when I was doing Instagram coaching, and a couple of years later, her business started to grow way faster than mine. In fact, like right now, her business is huge, and I'm super happy and proud of her. And there's definitely not any negative emotion around this anymore, but back then there was. I felt envy, and it was definitely my ego. Like, how could someone that hired me as a coach be doing better than me? That was my train of thought back then. Obviously, as I said, I don't feel like that anymore. I'm super happy for her, but that's what social media does to you, right? If you don't have a strong foundation as a person, a mental practice, a spiritual practice that can help you stay grounded in moments like that. And I did not have that, unfortunately. And that's another reason why I'm doing this show, because if you are going through something like that and you don't have anything to rely on, if you don't have a strong mind, if you don't believe in a power that's greater than you that will help you get through moments like this, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really, really hard. So yeah, the real problem wasn't the definition that I had about success. The real problem was that I had no spiritual foundation to hold it. I was building from pressure, performance, fear of not being enough, and it cost me more than I had realized. It cost me peace. It delayed my personal growth. I wasn't connected to myself. I wasn't connected to God. I felt disconnected from everything. I didn't even know why I had started this business anymore. So how did everything change? Distorted the whole vision for me. And I had a conversation with my coach, telling her that everything is going well now. I have my rituals and habits, and sales are coming. I'm getting new clients. I finally feel like I'm back on track. I still felt like I was performing, and I was creating something based on someone else's definition of success. And even though things were starting to get better, I kept comparing my success to others, and I kept having that stomach ache, that feeling in my stomach of envy whenever I saw someone making more sales. And I accept that I attached my self-worth to sales. And by the way, this is something that I'm still working through, because it's been really, really ingrained in my subconscious mind, and I don't like it at all. So when I made that decision to pivot and start from scratch, it felt like a weight was taken off my shoulders, and it felt like I was given permission to forgive myself for the way I had built my first business. And also I was giving a new opportunity to build something new, something meaningful. The thing is that I've always considered myself a kind person. I've always wanted the best for others, and I'm always good. I'm a good listener. I'm always finding ways of pleasing others, to making sure that everyone is happy, everyone is content. So yes, when I first started coaching, that was fulfilling, being able to coach people and see their transformations. But along the way, that was completely blocked by just wanting more money, more followers, more success. But that led to so much emptiness and lack of peace. So when I was given this opportunity by God to start from scratch, I forgave myself. I realized that it was time to redefine success. Because if that version that I had built wasn't giving me peace, it wasn't mine to carry anymore. And now, what does success look like for me? Well, success still looks like traveling the world and bringing my laptop with me, which I'm doing. And I'm so grateful with God that I'm able to run a business from anywhere in the world, being able to spend more time with my family without having to ask for paid time off. My grandfather passed away a couple of months ago, and I was able to just stop everything that I was doing, fly from Bali to Colombia, and spend his last hours of life next to him. So that is success for me. Success is seeing other people succeed. I finally let go of that grudge that I was holding whenever I saw someone else succeed. I've learned also, and if this is a good tip, by the way. If you've ever felt envy of someone else, I want you to do something. If you have a relationship with that person, if you're connected on social media or you know them in real life, if you feel envy, I want you to go against what this negative emotion is telling you, and I want you to genuinely congratulate them for their success. Tell them how happy you are, open up your heart, and you'll see that you have a sudden shift in energy, and that grudge is going to go away. So I started doing that as well. One of the things that I did to let go of these negative emotions that were like eating my stomach inside. And now success feels like peace. The most important thing, the thing that I'm looking for the most right now is peace. Peace in my business, peace in my personal life, peace in the things I do. Also being present, spending more time with my family, traveling back to Bali, donating more, giving back to church. That is what I see, what success looks like for me today. And it's been a huge shift. For example, this past 10 days, my sales have dropped dramatically, almost to zero. And I feel peace. I'm not worrying about it. I'm not letting that define my success anymore, because I know that's just a tiny piece of the pie. And I've learned to trust God and to let God lead my business, which is what we're going to be talking about in the next episode. But yeah, even when there's quiet days, there's no panic, there's no scarcity, there's just trust, peace, and faith. So I do want to mention a passage from scripture that talks about success, because the way that most people, including myself, see success in this world has nothing to do with what God defines as success. In Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 to 21, Jesus said, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, but store up treasures in heaven." This means that real success isn't built on performance, isn't built on achievement, isn't built on metrics, on sales, isn't built even on traveling the world. It's built on purpose and walking in truth with God, because He is not asking you to chase validation. He is inviting you to walk in truth. And when you finally redefine success through His eyes, everything shifts. So before closing this episode, I want to ask you a couple of things. And by the way, there is a freebie in the show notes of the episode, or if you're on YouTube, on the description. Every episode will have a freebie to help you reflect on the things that I've been sharing, because I want this to be not only just me talking, but you actually putting into practice or taking action from my own lessons and challenges and experiences. So first question is, what does success look like to me now? And is this definition truly mine, or was it inherited from the world? So I've created a simple journaling workbook to help you reflect on this and rewrite your definition of success from a place of alignment, peace, and faith. And if this episode resonated with you, please send me a message on Instagram at I am Juan Galan, or if you are listening on any podcast platform, please give me a 5-star review, share it with your friends, help me spread this mission. And if you're on YouTube, give those thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your new definition of success is. I'd love to hear it, because the moment you redefine it is the moment you finally start living it. See you next time. Bye.